Hello, my viewers or listeners at home. Once again, my name is Kolawole Rotimi Samuel, your English language teacher on air. During the previous lesson, we discussed verbs and its various forms, and you were given some homework to do. Now, I want you to be with your writing materials, that is the questions you've answered. Now, these are the likely answers to the questions, especially the aspect of verb. The first one will be, the boys always fight at home. Underline fight. The boys always fight at home. That is a plural subject. It takes a plural verb, fight. Check your answer if it is related. The second one, the boy always fights at home. Now, when you analyze that sentence, you have the boy, singular subject, the boy, singular subject. It takes a singular verb, fights. C, the boy is fighting. That's present continuous tense. The next one, the boy fought yesterday. That is past tense. Then in participle, the boy has fought, or the boys have fought. The boy has fought, or the boys have fought. The second question, the men always take to correction. Underline take. The men always take to correction. Plural subject takes a plural verb, which is take, under arbitrary action. The second answer, the man always takes to correction. Underline takes. The man, that is singular subject, it attracts a singular verb, takes, under arbitrary action. The men are taken to correction, present continuous tense with plural subject. If it is singular, it will be, the man is taken to correction. In past tense, the man took to correction this morning, this afternoon, or yesterday, depend on the time. Simple past tense. The men have taken to correction. That's a complete action. Plural noun, that is, the subject is plural, men, then it attracts have taken. If it is singular, it will be, the man has taken to correction. The man has taken to correction. Now you can cross-check your work, whether you got it right or not. Now let's start with what we have for today. Simple present tense and present continuous tense. But before then, we should know what tenses are. Tenses cannot be separated from verbs. Therefore, tenses are the various forms that show time. Tenses, they are the various forms that show time. Tenses are the various ways in which verbs are used to show or to indicate time. Various ways in which we use verb to show time or to indicate time. As a result of this, we have the following. We have simple present tense, simple past tense, present continuous tense, simple present tense, past continuous tense, present perfect tense, past perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense, and we have future tense. Future tense can be broken further to different groups, which will be taken later. Now, let's consider simple present tense. For today's lesson, simple present tense. Simple present tense is used to show or indicate present time. Present time. Simple present tense is used to show or indicate present time. Please take note of this. It expresses an habitual action. We use it to express an habitual action. What is an habitual action? An habitual action is what one is fond of doing. Probably you did it yesterday, you will do it today, or you haven't done it today, tomorrow you will still do it. For instance, I'm a teacher. Mr. Kolawole teaches English language. It is my profession. I teach English language always. The man teaches English language. That is habitual action. We use simple present tense to express habitual action. That is, what someone does often and often, or someone's profession. It is different from present continuous tense. My students at home, you are to be mindful of your speech. Don't say your teacher is teaching when you are to say your teacher teaches. For example, that man teaches us English language. It's different from that man is teaching us English language. When you say that man is teaching us English language, that is present continuous tense. When you say that man teaches us English language, you are reporting the work he does. He engages in the act of teaching English language always, often and often. You should know when and how to use this. Now, let's have the following examples. The boy is always happy. The boy is always happy. But I like this. This is an habitual action. In singular, for the plural will be the boys are always happy. Singular, plural. Both show habitual action. Now, let's consider the following example again. We go to school early every morning, right? We go to school early every morning. He goes to school early every morning. The first expression, we go to school early every morning. Here we have pronoun we, which is the subject of the sentence. It follows by the verb go. That is the rule. You cannot say we goes. The rule says it should be we go. They go. Olu and Ade go. I go. But you can only say he goes. She goes. Olu goes. Ade goes to school every day when you are expressing an habitual action. Mr. Kola and Mrs. Ojo teach English language. Mr. Kola teaches English language. That is what we call agreement. You must consider the agreement between the subject and the predicate. The predicate is the verb anytime you are speaking. Look at this example. I will write it on the chalkboard. Babies cry always. Babies cry always. Then the second one. The baby cries always. Look up. The baby cries always. Both are expressing habitual action. The first one is plural. The rule says, while expressing an habitual action, if the subject is plural, it must reflect in the verb, and the verb will not carry letter S. Never you make a mistake of saying any verb that carries letter S is a plural verb. No. When a verb does not carry letter S, it is telling us that it is referring to the subject, which is plural, the plural subject. The second one, the baby cries always. The subject here, the baby, is a singular subject, not plural, referring to only one person. The verb we carry as cries. That's why we have the baby cries always. The baby cries always. Please take note of this. Another example, write it down. Our parents always advise us to be serious. Our parents always advise us to be serious. Underline parents. Then underline and advise. You can see the agreement. Parents, that is, it is a plural subject. It takes a plural verb, advise. My mother always advises me to be serious. Right. My mother always advises me to be serious. Underline my mother, which is known as a singular subject. It goes with a singular verb, advises. When you know how to manipulate the use of verb this way, you will be able to speak good and correct English. Now, we want to consider the next aspect, which is present continuous tense. Don't forget what I told you. Never you use present continuous tense where you are to use simple present tense. What is your father's work? You say, my father is preaching. It's wrong. If your father preaches, you say, my father preaches. You can only say your father is preaching when the act of preaching is going on. Please take note of this. Now, present continuous tense. Let us consider present continuous tense now. What is present continuous tense? Present continuous tense is used to express an action that is in progress or happening now. Any action that is in progress or happening now is known as present continuous tense. It is used to express what is happening at present. We started a while ago. It is happening at present, but it started a while ago. As I'm standing before you, I am teaching English language. The act of teaching started some minutes ago, and the act of teaching is still in progress. Now you cannot say the teacher teaches English language. Because the act of teaching is in progress. What you have to say is that the teacher is teaching English language. The teacher is teaching English language. Now, the following rules can be considered for the formation of present continuous tense. Now, write the rules down. Am is a verb, auxiliary verb or epiverb. Am, is, are. Please take note of them. With the addition of suffix, that is plus suffix ing, from plus suffix ing. That is when you are expressing present continuous tense. It must take any of the forms above. I, is, are, plus suffix ing. Now let's take a particular verb for suffix ing. That is, can be I'm going, is going, are going. Am is an auxiliary verb. Then, to make it a full sentence, there must be subjects before the verbs. Now, this will be I am going. He is going. Then, they are going, according to the rule. I am going. He is going. They are going. Here we use pronouns. We can change the pronouns to noun. He, for example, Olu is going. They, Ade and Olu are going. Now, don't forget the difference between simple present tense and present continuous tense. For example, they are going, let's add, to school. He is going home. I am going to the market. Can you see how it is being extended? I am going to the market. He is going home. They are going to school. Present continuous tense. They are all present continuous tenses. Now, from this, we can form different habitual actions. Probably I go to the market always. It has become my habitual character of going to the market always. Then I will rather say, I always go to the market. I always go to the market. If somebody wants to report the act, the person will now say, the man always goes to the market. To the market. He is going home. Present continuous tense. From this, we want to form an habitual action. Will be he goes home every day. He goes home often. Or he seldom goes home. He does not go home always. Please let us take note of this. They are going to school. They are going to school. Then, to change it to simple present tense, they go to school often. They go to school always. With the illustrations being given, you should know the difference between simple present tense and present continuous tense. Now, I want you to have the following exercise, please. Take your pen and write. Use the following verbs or group of verbs, each in a correct simple present tense and present continuous tense, respectively. The first one, travel. That's 1A. B, travels. C, is traveling. 2A, do. B, does. C, are doing. 3A, drive. B, drives. C, is driving. When we meet for the next lesson, the correct answers will be given to the assignment being given to you now. Make sure you do it and you get the correct answers. Finally, don't forget simple present tense and present continuous tense. Never you use simple present tense where you are to use present continuous tense. If you can master it well, it will enhance your spoken English language. So this is where we want to draw the curtain for today's lesson. Don't forget, we have more than this. We have different tenses, but today we've just considered 2 out of it. Here we draw the curtain. My name is Kolawole Rotimi Samuel, a teacher of English language from Ido-Osun Government Middle School, Ido-Osun, in Egbedore local government area of Osun State.